Okay, last one of the bunch. Thank you very much for staying with me on these ability explanation videos. I know they're a little bit longer than you would think or expect, but hey, this is the last one. We're almost done, so thank you for bearing with it, I guess. Let's just save real quick and start play testing, and we're gonna take a look at the last abilities in this case for our Samedi character. Let me get the logo out of here. And let me fix the volume because it's probably going to be, yeah. So let's drop that down to about 11, make it consistent. Okay, oh, actually, no, I think I'm good. I think I'm starting on the, yeah, okay, the playtest map. Perfect. So we've already taken a look at everyone else, so let's just go over to our last girl, which is Joe. She's a Samedi. Well, she's a Hekata, I guess, technically speaking, because fifth edition. But she does have some of the old Semitic traits, which if you choose the right options, you get to explore during the story. So little incentive there. Let's see. Let's just go through all specs first because we already did that. So pretty much the same thing you would find with anyone else, but there is one difference, and that is going to be fatal recognition. Okay. Adds fatal precognition to a target. Fatal precognition marks a single enemy for attack and deals damage after a delay based on damage received. Blah blah blah. A lot of words to basically say this is Zed's death mark from League of Legends, right? So you cast this. I'm pretty sure it's instant speed. I would have to double check. You cast this on someone, and then you start, pumping damage into them after a couple of turns, which I think is two at this point. After a couple of turns, it's gonna blow up for around 30% of the damage that you deal to them during that window. So we'll take a look at that, in the actual um, battle test. So just so you can see what I mean. All right, let's go to the other two. She has access to Fortitude, Auspex, and Oblivion. Fortitude, of course, a discipline that strengthens the user's very flesh. So let's take a look at that real quick. And we start off with, just a basic passive, 30% additional defense, right? Nothing too complicated there. These tooltips are actually, are they the old tooltips? Um, okay, I think these two first ones are new because I used to leave the lore in, like the first line, the user's flesh turns hard and difficult to penetrate. And then the actual technical stuff, but then I had to take it all out because when you have an ability like this one, which is a little longer, it kind of, because this program that I'm using, or this plugin that I'm using to make the trees, is not capable of making separate paragraphs for the descriptions, which means if I add the flavor first and then the technical stuff, it all just runs down into one sentence and it's really hard to read. So it's not a big deal. It's just these two, and it doesn't really affect visibility or anything. So I think we can leave it as it is for now. Maybe we'll include it like whenever we do an update of other stuff. Anyways, let's get back to it. Toughness. Next passive, it's going to give us 50% additional resistance to ballistic fire and chemical. Remember, these are elements that we cast as quotation marks magic. Okay, I call it aggravated damage. So it's going to give you nifty resistances to everything but supernatural. So it's pretty cool. Valerian is an AoE heal. You sacrifice a bunch of your HP, and then with that HP, you heal all of your allies. I'm still, wondering how we're gonna do it, uh, like, balance-wise, because right now you spend 10% HP, and then you heal everyone for 10% HP. There's no way to, well, there is a way, but it's overly complicated and not worth it. There's no way to count yourself out of it. So it looks kind of stupid because you're sacrificing 10% HP and then you're healing yourself for 10% HP. I mean, you're healing everyone else, but you didn't really sacrifice anything. So, the easiest solution would be make it cost 20% HP and then everybody heals for 10%, so you actually lose something in the process, right? But yeah, just the basic AoE heal, nothing too fancy there. Defy Bane, instant skill that gives you, oh, what did I miss? Oh, sorry. Defy Bane, basic skill, instant skill that gives you aggravated defense. So it makes you, harder to hit, or, gives you additional defense for things like vampiric spells, fire, chemical. I think there are some sources of all of those. There's a boss fight for sure that has fire in it, or at least, the burn effect that does fire damage. So yeah, there's I guess it can help you with that. And yeah, there's a lot of other sources of ballistic, for example, is aggravated damage, and it comes from guns, and there's a lot of people that use guns, right? Fortified the inner facade. Same deal, instant skill, which adds mystique to the user. Mystique is a buff that you put on your bros. Well, in this case, first you have to put it on yourself, right? And it increases the damage of the next aggravated skill. So if you pair this ability up with the Oblivion tree, you're going to be doing a lot of supernatural damage, for example. So well, we'll take a look at it when we get to that tree, right? Obaya, whatever the hell. Heals the target incrementally for each status effect present and clears all negative effects. So we've already taken a look at this one in the Toreador tree, I think. But yeah, based on the effects that you have, burn, poison, all your passive effects, stat buffs, whatever, this is going to heal incrementally, and it's also going to remove the all the negative effects that you have on yourself. And this is at instant speed, so you can just use this. Something I don't like about RPGs is, you have a status effect and it's not really affecting you, so why would you get rid of it? Uh, my way to fix this was, well, you make it instant, so you just get rid of that if you have the blood power or the mana, and then you can just carry on with your life, right? This one's same as the other Draught for celerity, just allows you to cast the other two skills on allies. So you get ally versions of Defy Bane and Fortify the Inner Facade, so you can cast them on other people besides yourself. Shatter, it allows you to reflect damage. Funny thing, this was actually pretty overpowered in one of the builds, so it was actually reflecting more damage than you were receiving. So a mob would hit you for 60 damage, and you were reflecting like 80 damage, and it looked really dumb. So that has been cut in 3, and yeah, now it'll reflect adequate damage, I hope. Okay, and then the last one is Flesh and Marble, which, because our requirement is Shroud of Endurance, you can just cast it on whatever, and it gives you a shield and it gives you taunt, right? So uh, it's probably the best tanking skill in the game, because yeah, you can survive death, you can survive a lot of other things. Again, tuning pending, but like I mentioned, right now the packs are a little bit too quick, so there may not be enough opportunities to explore all the stuff that we see here. But 1 month deadline, we already shipped like a lot of updates regarding balance. So sometimes you just can't have everything. But yeah, okay, and then Oblivion, right? So you see here real quick, Aga, talking about the initials right here, naturally, right? Uh, Aga, everything or mostly everything here. I don't know why this one is so big. That's kind of weird. It's not game breaking, so we can fix that later in another build. This one's big too, and this one's small. All right, interesting. Whatever. So Aga is aggravated attack, and then so if you pair that with Fortitude and Mystique, so this one right here, yeah, you can do a lot of damage with this, right? First skill, Ashes to Ashes, deals fire damage, one of the few sources of fire damage that you'll have, to a single enemy and instantly kills corpses. If you cast this on the corpse, it'll just get rid of it for you, right? Because you're basically burning it down. Where the Shroud Thins is just your basic AoE skill. It hits all enemies for magic damage, in this case, supernatural element. Touch of Oblivion is a skill that does, pretty respectable damage. Spends, if I remember the number tuning correctly, it spends. Oh, I don't know why this isn't in full screen. My bad. Uh, it spends a fair amount of mana too, but if you kill something with it, it refunds the cost. So, uh, depending on how many points you spend into aggravated attack, so you can, do more damage with your magic abilities or your discipline abilities. Um, yeah, you can basically kill targets from half of them, just like keep spamming it, depending on how you build. So, And this game is basically designed to be broken. Uh, it's not an MMO. I'm not gonna spend years and years, fixing all the little balance things and making everything viable. If you want to break it, just fucking go ahead and break it. No problem. Then we got Shadowcast. Users' basic attacks now deal supernatural damage and have a chance to apply Blood Seal. So, just a little utility in case you want to use Joe as your melee attacker, which I don't know why you would, but again, the option is there. You you spec for this, and then your attacks are no longer going to be negated by armor. They're instead going to be negated by resistances, in particular the supernatural resistance. Necrotic Plague, chemical damage in an area and inflicts poison on all enemies hit. All right, so just AoE damage, and then it inflicts poison on everything that it hits. I don't remember if it's like a straight up, you poison something, or it's a chance. I think it's just you poison it. And then the last two are upgrades. So Stygian Shroud is gonna upgrade where the Shroud thins. So this is an AoE. This is an AoE that has a chance to blind. Pretty self-explanatory. And same with this. This is the one that refunds your blood cost if you kill the target. This is the same thing, but it also has a chance to inflict a random ailment. Okay, and I think it does a little bit more damage. I'm not sure about that. So that's all we got spec for now. Let's get right into battle and see what we can do with her, right? And as always, you can see all your little tooltips here for the things that you researched, right? So there's all our passives: Spirit's Touch from Auspex, which we already reviewed in the other video, Shadowcast, Resilience and Toughness from Fortitude, and Shatter 2, and Heightened Senses also from Auspex. So just in case you were wondering what those little icons are. Right? Okay, let's get to battle here. If it lags, it's because this guy is, thick as fuck, so, please don't hold it against him. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, we have a corpse in the back, so we can just try Ashes to Ashes real quick. If I do it on this guy, alright, it's just gonna do damage. So, 72 damage, and then we'll just Restrain. We'll take everyone else. Alright, so just Restrain. Restrain. Yeah, the enemies for this test battle have 1 speed, meaning they shouldn't be what you call it. Yeah, they shouldn't be fast. They shouldn't, but they still have to get turns because otherwise it would be broken. Okay, so now we do the same thing, but we're gonna cast it on. Oh, I gotta move my mouse here. Okay. Tip: this I didn't know. If I have my mouse here and I try to move with the arrow keys, it doesn't work. So I may need to, if I can't find a way around it, I may need to issue a warning on my download page. Just a limitation of the engine. Alright, so we cast it on the corpse. It's gonna instantly get rid of it for us. Dead. Alright. Okay, so we just Restrain. See, it's starting to lag. Don't worry, this big boy is not gonna be in the game. Alright. So, what else can we do here? We can do Stygian Shroud just to take a look at the graphic. Yeah, nothing exciting. Default RPG Maker graphics with change the hue a little bit to make it sneaky and not recognizable. So it looks cool. I'm happy with the results of the animations. They look appropriate to the disciplines. I try to make animations have the same color for if they're in the same discipline. Let's just drink some blood. Okay. Good. And then let's see, what else can we do? We can show you Flesh of Marvel if you want. We can cast it on anyone, of course. We'll just cast it on her, right? So because she's getting taunt, every one of our enemies here is going to try to attack her. So they're just gonna ignore the rest of our party. As I said, one of the best tanking abilities, if not the best tanking ability in the game, because it gives you a shield on top of everything. Okay, just get to it. They're not gonna attack, so we'll just do another discipline. Then we'll see it after we take our turn. So what else have we got? Okay, this one, Fatal Precognition. We can try it on this guy. So I'm gonna put it on him. Okay, and you see here there should be a little icon. Field recognition, user will receive a portion, blah blah blah. So, what is the icon for that? It's a good question. I can't see because it's too big. Whatever. So, let's see how much damage we do. So, try to count it. 50, approximately. 70, so that's 120. We can maybe just leave it at 120 because that's an easy number to divide. So let's just restrain everything else. I don't feel like doing math. It's a little late. So just restrain until it pops. And when it pops, it should be doing... How many turns do we have left? 2 turns. Okay. It's a little too long. Maybe I'll have to tone that down. Because again, I don't know if you can one-shot bosses with the recent adjustments that we did. So just have to wait for this guy to take his turn. One more. And according to my calculations, it should do around 40 damage. Because I think I tuned it to 30% of the damage received during the time that the debuff was on this thing. So just keep guarding here. And come on, I know you guys are slow, but you can do it. Okay, last one. He's gonna take his turn, and then he's gonna take the damage. Let's see. He attacks, and he takes about 40 damage. So we did 120 damage in that window, and then we just the mark popped for a third of that, 30%. Right? Very good. Very cool. So, whoops. Restrain. Let's see if we can show something else before we finish here. Restrain. Restrain. Okay. Discipline. Withering Spirit. I think we can kill the rat with that. We can check. Yeah, that's pretty much the only one that we need to take a look at. So, I mean, this is self-explanatory. It poisons stuff. I don't think there's going to be any mystery there. So let's try this one. Okay. Yeah, this should kill the rat. So if you take a look at my mana bar or my blood power right here, you should be able to see it go down and then go back up because I killed the rat and then refunded. So spend 3 mana. I'm gonna kill it, and I'm gonna get my mana back. Right. So it might be kind of broken. Why? Because again, it does a lot of damage. You don't really have to plan that much, except for like maybe boss fights or something. But so see if we can just spam it, do it on this guy, right? Should kill her too. Yep, dead. Cost is refunded. Might have to tune that again. I don't care if you break it. It's designed to do that, as people have discovered. Many people have discovered about old RPGs. You can just like spec a certain way and just break it. So let's do one more for the road. Let's do this so you can see that if I don't kill it, it doesn't. See 200 damage, but it didn't get rid of the didn't refund my mana. And you can see also that because this has a chance to apply a random debuff, we gave it blind. So yeah, that's pretty much what we got for abilities. There's of course a lot of things that you can do with this. With when you take into account your equipment, your weapons, etc. You can have a melee build. You can have a gun build. Basically, completely ignoring this portion of the game right here and just going for guns. That's a viable build depending on what stats you spend your points on. You can be a healer. Some characters are going to be better at it than others, but one of my main point while making this was every character can do it to some extent, and yeah, it's up to you to pretty much craft your difficulty curve. You say, okay, this girl right here, she's optimized for caster damage, so she's optimized for magic damage. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna make her melee. All right, well, that's your journey, and I can't really enter it, but it's up to you. Thank you very much for watching. This series of abilities is something that I wanted to do since the development log, so I'm really happy that we just got it out of the way. In case you're too lazy or too, uninterested to check out the game, that's perfectly fine. You can just check these videos, leave a comment, leave some feedback, and yeah, I'll see what I can do about it. This was, as I told you, pretty fun to make. The game was fun to make, these videos were fun to make, and hope you enjoyed them. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.